Hey, happy new year. Like, I can't believe 2022 is already over and we're well into the first day of 2023. So here's the thing. I was just working the last few days on some of the thoughts behind what I want to do this year. Whether you call them New Year's resolutions, whether you call them plans for the future. So what I was thinking about is, what do I want to do? Well, here's the thing. There's a couple of goals that I've got, and I was just thinking about a few things that are going to happen this year. So, for example, towards the end of this year, I'm going to be turning the big 4-0. So, what does that mean? Well, it just kind of makes me look at life a little bit differently, see where my parents were at that age, where I am, where others are that I admire and look up to. And I was like, well, what do I want to do? And I'm not comparing myself, but just trying to get some inspiration. And I thought, well, it's around 40 weeks away or around 300 days away. So I haven't quite figured out the title of my project and my self-work project on whether I call it Project 300 or whether I call it, which I kind of like actually because it's kind of a reference to the Spartan movie, or whether I call it 40 to 40. I don't know. Let me know what you think, and I might call it that. Let me know in the comments how I might call it that. But anyway, so some of the goals that I've been working on is I talked to Komal and my wife and said, let's get rid of the TV. No more Netflix, no more Amazon Prime, no more any of that kind of stuff. We're just going to be listening to podcasts, self-improvement stuff, online courses, things of that nature, audiobooks, things like that. Which, by the way, I'm gonna grass her in. She said she's just going to be watching some friends watching just with the audio, so it's like a podcast. I'm like, don't know if that counts, but anyway. So it's tough, hey, it's tough. But okay, so we're going to give that a go. So we're going to get rid of the TV later on this either today or tomorrow, and just take it off the wall. I may even go as far as deleting the apps. The only reason I haven't though is because sometimes if I want to watch a documentary, that might be on there. There's a temptation to watch the documentary and for self-improvement rather than just watching TV shows. Just one thing. I'm looking to read 50 books. 50. I've already kind of done a little head start. I cheated a little bit the last couple of days. I've already finished 2 audiobooks. So I'm a little bit ahead of myself on that one. Quite proud of myself that I've done that. And who cares, right? It's not really like a cheat if I've improved myself, unless you think otherwise. But the food part's the hard part. Hey, that's the hardest thing. So I've been a vegan for around almost 8 years now. And over that time, I've noticed a drastic increase in alternative cheeses and alternative meats, so vegan versions of them. And that's really led me down a path of eating lots of junk food. And I want to really change that up. So I'm looking to not have any processed food, cut out caffeine already, so 0 caffeine. I was kind of enjoying a lot of coffees and I'm going to miss that. So I've got some alternatives for that. And I haven't had alcohol for years anyway, so that's not a big deal for me. But those are the kind of main goals for me from that point of view. And the other thing is from a self-improvement point of view, I've wanted to reduce my body fat down to 12%. So a while ago, I did a post about the mathematics of body fat loss. And the way to do it, the way I'm working on it is basically, my thing was going back to the 300 days or 40 weeks. I said to Commerce, how would life look if every single day, everything you did was perfect? So what does that mean? I get that's so subjective. But let's say every single meal you had, every single workout you did, every single option you had, you did the right thing, not the wrong thing. So the choice between watching some Netflix film compared to listening to a podcast, or sitting there and wasting time compared to reading a book. And I get there is an element of self-care, but I'm talking about a whole other level. And I said, just for 300 days straight, is it possible? What a challenge that would be, how fascinating would it be? Would it be cool to document that? And that's what I'm considering doing, documenting my process through this. I think it's going to be quite tricky. I can already imagine there's a few things that are coming up that's going to be quite challenging for me to decide how I want to be handling that whole thing. But here's what I've done to figure out how I want to get down to 12% body fat. Essentially, if we just imagined, if we took weight as an example, one of the things I have at home is a body fat monitor, and they're okay. They're relatively accurate. They're not amazingly perfect, but it's a good starting point. And what I do is look at body fat on there, right? So if you've got your body fat on there, so right now mine is at around 25%, which is makes me feel gross. 1/4 of me is fat. Now I'm not fat shaming or anything. I'm just saying that that's just how I feel. And I weigh around 77 kilos. So basically, if I want to do half of that, so now I would go down to I've got to take off 10, 10 to 12% of that. Okay, so you take that, and you know that a kilo, 10 kilos of fat equals 90,000 calories. So then you just work out the number of days that you want to be burning off and be in a calorie deficit. Now, these are really gross things, gross numbers, and not gross by discussing gross as in like, big assumptions being made on this. So, but this is what I'm working on. Will it be right or wrong? I don't know. I'm going to give it a go. If you've got any advice or tips or any pointers, or just want to give me some more inspiration and motivation, please help me out. I'd love to hear from you. I just thought, I just wanted to share that message with you about where I am, what I'm planning on doing. And hey, I'm going to try my hardest to give this a go. I think it's going to be kind of fun in the process, and I'm going to discover lots of things about me that I haven't discovered yet, and I'm pretty self-aware already, so that's going to be kind of cool. But hey, I wish you otherwise amazing 2023. I wish all your goals come to fruition. I hope the very best for health and happiness to you and your loved ones. And listen, hit me up, let me know. I'd love to hear from you.